Greetings, this is Amy Wentley with Chi Knuckles Knitting. This video covers the long tail cast-on. This is one of a series of videos covering cast-ons that you can use for knitting. A link to the playlist is in the description below and on my blog at chiknucklesknitting.com. Before you can start the long tail cast-on, you need to measure out a tail long enough to complete your cast-on. And I have a video in this series, you can go back to the playlist and you can see that, on how to measure out the yarn for the tail. In this case, I'm going to pick up my needle and I'm going to wrap the yarn 10 times around because I'm going to cast on 10 stitches. So that gives me an approximation of how long my tail needs to be. So I leave a little tail here and a little bit here, and I'm going to just drop it off the needle. And at this point, I am going to make a slip knot. And the way I do that is I'll just loop the yarn like this. Then I will take the yarn in my right hand and pull it through that hole. And I tug the loop and the tail. And here is my slip knot. So I'm going to put the slip knot on my needle right here. The tail is going to go off to the right hand side, and the working yarn attached to my ball of yarn is going to go over to my right hand side. And then I'm going to set up a slingshot here, and the way I'm going to do that is, this is the working yarn, this is my tail. I'm going to put my fingers between the two of those and have them drape over my index finger and my thumb, and then I'm going to grab the two ends of the yarn with my hand, and that sets up a slingshot. I'll do that for you one more time. I have my tail here, that's going to go over my thumb. I have my working yarn here, that's going to go over my finger. I'm going to insert my finger and my thumb between those two, lift them up, and then I'm going to grab the yarn ends with my hand, and that sets up a slingshot. Right, the first step for the long tail cast on, you've already got one stitch here. So the first step is to go to the outside of your thumb, over and to the outside of your thumb, and scoop the yarn under, and then take that over to the yarn on the inside of your finger and scoop over the top to grab that loop. And you are going to take this yarn now through the loop on your thumb. You're going to drop your thumb out and tug the yarn just nice and softly, and you now have 2 stitches. So let's try that again. You put your finger and your thumb through and grab both pieces of yarn to get into a slingshot position. You're going to go to the outside of your thumb and grab that piece of yarn. You're going to go to your finger and grab that piece of yarn, and you're going to bring that yarn into the loop that's on your thumb, drop your thumb and pull it through. I'm going to show you that one more time, and I'll show you how you can keep your hands in the slingshot position without dropping the yarn. Okay, so you're going to go to the outside of your thumb, you're going to go all the way to your finger, and then you're going to pull through the loop that's on your thumb, and now you can drop that yarn, but right away you can pull your thumb under that tail and it will make this stitch tight, and it still stays on your finger. So let's do that one more time. Over the yarn on your thumb, over the yarn on your finger, pull it through the thumb loop, drop it off the thumb, put your thumb under that tail there, and you can pull it tight. So I now have 5 stitches on the needle. So let me go ahead and you can watch me do the other 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives me 10 stitches on my needle. Now this is now the wrong side of my work, and I'm going to turn my needle and I will start knitting on this side. You'll notice here that this side has purl bumps running across it. So if you were doing stockinette stitch, you might want to start this row with a purl row, and then the next row would be a knit row, because you've got those purl bumps on the back side of your cast on. The long tail cast on makes the first row of knitting for you, and that first row of knitting, when you turn it to the back, is a row of purls. You don't have to do it that way, but it's just a suggestion to make those purls blend into the stockinette stitch. This is a good cast on for most purposes. It's pretty elastic, it's rather attractive, and it really is good for any kind of project. So you'll see this recommended a lot of times in a lot of the projects you do. So that is the long tail cast on, and I've got more cast ons out on my playlist. Come see me again. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.